is going to be a chess break. I'm calling it a chess break. This is a thing, cigar. I call it a chess break because it's chess time. I like to get a game and so in, and I've been trying to document my progress from not necessarily playing to trying to get back a certain degree of skill set. I do this not out of any kind of noble pursuit, but out of a revenge fantasy. There are people who treated me poorly as I was at my lowest, and I'm going to get revenge. Something like that. But also, it's a skill, and I want to show it to myself that I can maintain that particular skill. So, there's going to be that. Also, at 6 p.m., my wife and I are going to do a segment. I think we're going to call it Mr. and Mrs. or His and Hers. I think it's His and Hers. That's going to be the name of the segment. It's going to be something that we do each Wednesday. It's probably going to be a 30-minute segment about various topics that each of us find to be hot topics. So that should be interesting. She tended to enjoy doing the show, and I enjoy having her on the show. So this will be chess night. While I'm waiting for a game to pop up, let me explain the rules. Each week, or maybe between the weeks, I play one game, maybe two, depending on how fast the previous game went. But one game, win or lose, it's like keep record of the game itself, and by playing and showing the world as you're playing, you're essentially being honest. I don't want to get my ass kicked, and I don't want to be this kind of embarrassed by having like hundreds of people see you get your ass kicked. So it is very important to me that I win these games. And so there's a certain degree of pressure as I play the games. But so far I've done well. I think I'm 2-1, and the one was against a guy who's like 2100 or something. So I think that's what's going to take place. There are two segments or streams. There's one where you can just hit a game and anybody plays. The rating can be anywhere from like 1300 to 2000. And the other one, you can choose who you want, or you can put like a custom. I'm going to do the custom. I'm going to do the custom because I want to talk about a topic while I wait for a game to pop up. I want to talk about super delegates. If you remember, when Tom Perez made that announcement that there was going to be changes to the super delegate system, I looked at that with a certain degree of skepticism, saying, well, wait a minute, they still exist. They exist in the second round. If you go to the second round, they're back on. And how difficult of a decision is it for the media to ask the person, if you go to the second round, who are you going to give your vote to? So this big billboard where the media comes out and gives all of these points to a person prematurely still has a potential to exist. And then in a race where you're going to have like 10 people in the race, if not more. Hell, you got Oprah Winfrey's spiritual advisor in the race. It's like everything in the kitchen sink. Is it possible, even likely, that you end up with like 3 people at the end, in which case the vote gets split in a way that sends you to the second round? Yeah, it's possible. It's very possible. All right, so we have a person. So let's kick over. All right, I don't want to get my ass kicked, so I'm gonna sound down while I'm playing, but I'll be back later. I have no idea what that was about. That's anticlimactic. Yeah, that's anticlimactic. I would say this. Blaze one if you got one. And invest yourself into the game itself. Now, what I mean by that is, I've always said that plot allows you to get closer to your heart center, at least for me. I tend to be, in my head most of the time. Bind yourself to the game itself. Almost like as if you're, how can I say this? It's almost like you're in a cage match, but these are the elements that you have at your disposal to articulate your will within this game space. Just like we have this frame, this reference frame that we can operate in. to infuse, this kind of godhood into the pieces themselves, and play from that vantage point. It becomes a fascinating game. Oh, this guy's 100. All right, here's a game. Let's play some chess.
Check. 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 Time warning. Check. 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 Checkmate.
Damn it. Ugh. My rage is endless. God damn it. I want to throw something. It's aggravating. The guy's an IM, he's an international master. That's what this means. This IM means international master. I hate losing games like this. Oh God, that hurts. That hurts. All right, let me explain what the fuck is going on. He's 2100. I'm 1800. 10 seconds. I have 8 seconds. This game was going to the mat. My promise is that I do analysis, so let's do analysis. All right. This is King's Indian attack going after the French defense. Now, for the most part, this is just the basic fighting chess where you're trying to gain your position, and this is the King's Indian attack format. I am extraordinarily cautious because, A, I don't want to lose. Nobody wants to lose, but I definitely don't want to lose in front of people. And I want to lose in private to myself, just alone with my thoughts and my shame. But also, I kind of want to look at this as, I guess, a weekly official tally of progress. And then looking at that weekly official tally of progress to have documentation of what took place. I need to come up with a better naming system, but let's do it. All right, white asserts his will in the center of the board and splits the board in half. It makes it difficult for black to get forces back and forth. It's like a bone in your throat to some degree. That center point becomes the basis of an attack, typically on the king side. He didn't castle on the king side, which makes it a little bit more complicated, meaning white has to function on the queen side. It's not necessarily the way the setup was. So he's going queen side. Now, I don't want any tactics on this pawn, so I want to overprotect. There was a chess, he was a GM, he never made it to be world champion, Aaron Nimzovich. Nimzovich came out with this book of rules for playing the game of chess. And one of those had to do with this thing of overprotection. Overprotect your important points on the board. Now, sometimes yes, sometimes no. Chess doesn't necessarily fit into hard rules to follow. Oftentimes those things are contextual with the position. It's kind of like life. So let's keep going. But overprotection in this case was correct, of course. That pawn is vitally important for white's health. Let me say it this way. If that pawn falls, white gets into trouble. Alright, so he castles kingside. This is always uncomfortable. You can look at this and you can say, well, there's a pawn between those two things, but that's always uncomfortable. There can be tactics afoot that take away a position and allow the pawn to go forward. That will be detrimental to black's health in this case. So it's always this thing that's hanging in your mind when you're playing the game, particularly in blitz, because it's going by so fast. You have to pay attention that there are no tactics on what's being done. That's... Oh, okay. We have time. Let's keep going. But I do that, overprotect again, and to create some level of tactics on the white queen. If the knight wasn't here, bishop takes, pawn thrust with a push, it allows tactics on the queen. Tactics on the queen is not far away. So that's the reason for that move. So let me go back one. This freaks me out. Now, again, if you put yourself in a position that this is you infuse all of you into the game itself to the degree that you can infuse yourself into the game. This freaks you out. For people who play chess, when stuff takes place, there's an internal pull. There's a tug. It feels like when you're in a position that's cramped, you feel cramped. There's some aspect of you that feels cramped. You could be in an entire auditorium. It's a very bizarre phenomenon, but it's almost, you feel the things that are taking place on the board. I know that sounds weird, but it hangs in your mind. It becomes a consciousness thing. So I need to react. My reaction is in the center. Attacks on the wing sometimes can be dissipated with attacks back in the center. And I don't have anything else anywhere else on the board. I don't want to sit over here and have a fight with my king side, if I can help it, to the degree that I can help it. I want to try to protect my king. And the only way I can protect my king in this case is to force him to respond to the things that I'm doing. Pawn takes. Again, if this pawn moves, a thrust allows tactics. So he doesn't do that. But I didn't think this was horrible for me. I thought this was okay. He started putting a lot of pressure here, which again freaks me out. But I'm holding. I guess I kept thinking, like, what am I not seeing? So far, I can keep this shit together. Again, attacking. The point here is pawn, push, bishop takes. Oh, well, I'll show you. Pawn takes, knight, king move. Right. The king has to move because the bishop is pinned. The bishop can't do anything if the knight moves, which means there's a latent pin pressuring on this. It has to get out the way, so the king moves. This is soft. This is very soft. This is baby soft because it can be taken with the bishop. And this knight is not necessarily in the best of health to help it. White has to do something. You can't just sit there and stand on your hands. He's going to punch you in the face. So, pawn push with the idea of this. The hope here is bishop takes, knight. This discovery on the queen either flees, but most likely will do something like this, which allows for the taking of the rook. Problem here is there are two pieces that are under attack. So this, or for that matter, bishop takes. White has got a rook for his troubles, but I don't think this is horrible, even though this gets somewhat tricky in the way that this is going. And again, this is blitz. It's hard to see this stuff. You get a flavor for the position. Like, I could get up to this point, and at that point I have no idea what black is going to do, or if it's something I'm not seeing. But it doesn't matter. I can't allow him to continue to pile up on that piece. Something needs to be done. So he avoids it. I mean, he's 2100 after all. Again, another push. I'm trying to open up files, open up lanes. Now this is getting dangerous. Even if you don't play chess, like even if you don't know what's taking place in chess, you can see, those two pieces are lining up to try to take the king's head off. So again, white has to do something. So again, body contact. Now, here's my other idea. I came to a conclusion. My thought was, I have problems in this position. And one of the main problems in this position is this alignment. He is dominating this diagonal. All right, if he's dominating the diagonal, I need to get rid of him. And the only thing that I have to get rid of him with is my rook. So if I can get rid of him, even though I'm giving up the exchange, in this case, so what? If you don't give up the exchange, you're gonna lose because you're gonna get smothered and pushed off the side of the board. You give up the exchange, you get tactics against the queen from the standpoint of this knight moving, and you see what I mean. It becomes a threatening situation for black, and it unsettles the position. And so that was the idea. So let's see how that works out. So this take. Just not fucking around. Not fucking around. All right.
Check.
Fine. All right. Now he doesn't want to take that rook. He thinks that rook is poison. And that rook may be poison. I don't know. I haven't seen that far. I just thought it was unsettling the position. This is problematic because this is going to take that on the very next go. So something has to be done.
Check.
Dissipate the energy. Take.
Check.
Fall back. Now, this is winning for white. White is a piece to the good. This guy's 2100. I am a piece to the good. I just need to save my neck for the next time frame because I only have 37 seconds left. So don't die in 37 seconds, and you may win. But you don't sit around. You try to go after him. So trying to prevent his attacks on the king. Trying to get some attacks of my own. And fucking knights. Knights, man. Can't fucking trust knights. Alright.
Check. Check.
Right. I did that because I wanted to get rid of the threat against my king. And I thought that my king was somewhat soft. And so I didn't want the queen on the board. Alright.
Check.
Getting a bit greedy. Fuck, I should have taken that.
Check. Check.
Oh, bastard. Bastard! Oh, fuck. Take the knight. Take the knight. Just
check.
Rip that knight off the board. Why can't he do that? Oh, check. What am I missing? Right. This. Yeah, it's that.
Check.
Why can't I take that? Why is that not letting me take that? Oh, check. Oh! God damn it. That just outright wins. Check. On both sides. The knight and the bishop. He can't even take it. He has to move.
Check.
I mean, God. That hurts. It hurts to know. God, that hurts to know. I mean, it's blitz. If it was a slower game, I probably would have seen it, but still, it's painful. I'm 2-2 on the channel. 2-2. That's brutal. That's brutal. It hurts. That hurts. All right. I'm going to end this because my wife and I are about to start the other show at 6 p.m. His and hers. I think that's what we're going to call it. His and hers. Essentially, top topics. Top topics. Yeah, that works. Top topics. In news, media, history, whatever. Anything they want to come up with. So, I will see you guys in 15 minutes. In fact, you may even see me sooner because there's another video that I want to do maybe in between time frames. So I'll see you guys shortly. Thanks all. If you enjoy the content, feel free, Patreon, etc, etc, etc. Oh, and I'm going to start to defend my title, channel title. I'm going to call it a channel title. I'm going to get a belt and everything. I'm going to make it a thing. So thanks all. Bye.